Imagine sitting down at your desk, fully prepared to focus. You open your English book, but almost immediately, your head feels like it is stuffed with heavy, wet cotton.
Oh, yeah. That is a very common feeling.
Right. You try to read a paragraph, but the words just, well, they bounce right off your brain. You are trying your best, but honestly, you feel like a zombie who completely lost their way.
It is an incredibly frustrating experience. I mean, you really want to learn, but the information simply will not stick.
No, it really won't.
And the strange thing is, this usually happens right after we have spent hours doing things we thought were relaxing.
Exactly. And, that is our mission for today's deep dive.
Yeah.
We are looking at the silent traps we fall into every single day.
The everyday habits.
Right? These are 5 incredibly common habits that are secretly destroying your brain power. And just to be clear, by brain power, we just mean your mind's natural ability to think clearly, solve problems, and lock in new information like learning the English language.
Right. In our previous discussions, we built up a nice list of positive routines. But today, well, we are flipping the script.
We are.
Because sometimes to make real progress, you have to stop doing the things that are secretly pulling you backward.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to be super clear with you, our listener. Our goal today is not to make you feel guilty. Not at all.
No, definitely not.
We just want to show you exactly how your mind works step by step. This way, you can protect your brain and upgrade your English at the exact same time.
And to understand why we struggle so much to focus during the day, we actually have to look at what happens before we even close our eyes at night.
Oh, yeah.
Because the foundation of tomorrow's focus is, well, it is built tonight.
Which brings us right to the first trap. So picture this.
Mm-hmm.
You get into bed, you turn off the lamp, and then you grab your phone.
Of course. We all do it.
Right. You tell yourself, I will just look at social media for 5 minutes. But suddenly, a whole hour is gone. We call this doom scrolling.
It is so common, but the biological effect is actually quite serious. You see, your brain does not have a clock inside it.
Wait, really? It doesn't?
No, it does not know if it is 2 in the afternoon or midnight. It only knows what it sees through your eyes.
Okay, that makes sense.
And inside your eyes, you have these tiny sensors. Their only job is to look for daylight.
So when I hold my phone directly in front of my face in a very dark room, what are those sensors telling my brain?
Well, they are sending a massive false sunrise signal.
Oh, wow. A fake sunrise.
Exactly. The bright blue light from your screen mimics the morning sun. So your brain thinks, oh, the sun is coming up. It is time to wake up.
Right.
Because of this, your brain completely stops producing a vital sleep chemical. And that chemical is called melatonin.
Okay, let me make sure I understand. Melatonin is the specific signal that tells our bodies to power down and sleep deeply, right?
Exactly right. When you block your melatonin with that bright phone light, you might still fall asleep eventually, but it will be a very shallow, poor quality sleep.
So you don't get the good rest.
Right. The deep, repairing stages of sleep, they just do not happen.
And we really pay the price for that the very next morning. You wake up with this terrible feeling, which we call brain fog.
Yes, brain fog.
When I have brain fog, it is like my thoughts are moving through thick mud. So is brain fog kind of like trying to drive a car with a really dirty windshield?
Oh, I like that comparison.
Yeah, like you can see just enough to not crash the car,
Right.
but absolutely nothing is sharp or clear.
Yes, that is a perfect way to describe it. And, the danger of a dirty windshield is not just the lack of clarity. It is the sheer exhaustion.
The exhaustion.
Yeah. Think about how hard you have to squint your eyes and lean forward just to see the road. It takes all of your energy.
Right, I see.
So when you have brain fog, you have to work incredibly hard just to process simple English sentences.
That makes perfect sense. The effort of seeing through the fog just drains you completely.
Mm-hmm.
So we wake up tired and foggy because of our phones.
Yeah.
And because we feel slow, we start to panic. We feel like we are falling behind on our daily tasks. So what do we do next? We try to do everything at exactly the same time.
Which brings us to our second major trap, constant multitasking.
Right.
This is when we try to listen to an English audio lesson while cooking dinner on the stove, while also replying to text messages on our phones.
Okay, hold on. I need to push back on this a little bit.
Sure, go ahead.
My entire daily schedule is built on multitasking. If I do not listen to a lesson while I cook and text, I feel like I am wasting my time.
A lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't doing 3 things at once make us much faster and more efficient?
Well, it certainly feels efficient,
Mm-hmm.
but scientifically speaking, it is a complete myth.
Wait, really? A myth?
Yes, the human brain simply cannot process 2 complex thoughts at the exact same time.
You can't.
No, it is biologically impossible to focus deeply on the English grammar rules in your audio while also thinking about what to type to your friend.
So if my brain is not processing them at the same time, what is it actually doing?
It is switching. It moves your attention from the audio to the text message to the dinner and then back to the audio. And it does this switching incredibly fast.
Okay, but if it switches fast enough, isn't that basically the same thing as multitasking?
Not at all. And here is why. Imagine a chef trying to cook 3 completely different meals.
Okay, a chef with 3 meals.
But the stoves are on opposite sides of a giant kitchen. The chef has to sprint from the soup all the way across the room to the steak and then sprint all the way back to the salad.
Wow, the chef would be exhausted just from all that running around.
Precisely. And worse, when the chef finally arrives at the steak for a few seconds, he is still thinking about the soup.
Right, because he just left the soup.
Exactly. He has to remember where he left off. In the brain, this is called attention residue.
Attention residue.
Yes. Every time you switch from your text message back to your English audio, a little piece of your attention is left behind.
Oh, wow. So the running back and forth, the switching, is what is burning all my energy. I am not actually learning anything because I've been just sprinting between tasks.
And that mental sprint leads directly to mental fatigue.
Mental fatigue.
Yes. This is an extreme, deep tiredness of the mind. At the end of the day, you feel like you've worked incredibly hard, you feel so busy.
But I didn't actually learn much.
Right. Because of the constant switching, you did not actually retain any new English vocabulary. You just exhausted yourself.
Okay, so let's connect these pieces for the listener. We start the day with brain fog from poor sleep.
Yes.
Then we burn all our remaining energy by multitasking, which leads to terrible mental fatigue. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, our bodies are in a total panic.
We are completely drained.
Right, we are desperate for energy. And that is usually when we reach for the absolute worst kind of fuel.
Which is our third trap. We try to fix a tired brain with heavy sugar and caffeine while completely ignoring water.
It is so true. I mean, when I hit that afternoon wall, I don't pour a nice glass of water. I grab a huge cup of coffee and maybe a sweet chocolate bar.
Most people do. But let's look at how the brain actually works. Your brain cells communicate with each other using tiny electrical signals.
Okay.
It is basically a highly complex electrical network. And what conducts electricity better than anything else?
Oh, water.
Yes, water. The human brain is roughly 75% water. When you do not drink enough water, those electrical signals literally slow down.
Wait, really? The signals slow down?
They do. Your thoughts actually move slower. So when you reach for a sugary snack instead of water, you are giving your body the wrong fuel.
But, sugar gives me a huge burst of energy. For about 20 minutes, I feel like I can conquer the whole world.
Exactly. It is like pouring rocket fuel into a tiny car.
Rocket fuel.
Yeah, it goes incredibly fast for 1 minute, but then the engine completely burns out and the car stops working.
So it is a trick. The rocket fuel runs out, and then you have a sugar crash.
A very hard crash, yes.
Your blood sugar drops heavily, and suddenly you feel heavier and more tired than before. Sometimes my head even physically aches after a sugar crash.
Right. To truly stay alert, meaning your mind is fully awake, quick, and paying attention, you need sustainable fuel.
Sustainable fuel like water.
Yes. Your brain's electrical network needs water to keep the signals moving smoothly all day long. Water provides steady energy. Sugar just provides a trap.
Steady energy makes so much sense.
Yeah.
All right, so let's say we are finally hydrated. We have our large glass of water.
Good stuff.
Now we sit down at our desk to study English. We open our books, we sit in our chair, and we sit and we sit. Which brings us to the fourth hidden trap, refusing to move.
And this one is so deceptive because we think we are doing the right thing.
Right, we think we are studying hard.
We tell ourselves, I'm going to be disciplined. I'm going to sit in this chair for 3 straight hours until I memorize these verbs.
Yes, I have literally said to myself, I am not leaving this desk until I finish this chapter. It feels like hard work. How is that hurting my brain?
Well, because your brain is an absolute oxygen hog, it needs a massive, constant supply of oxygen to process new information.
Okay. And how does oxygen get to the brain?
It travels through your blood.
And physical movement is what pumps the blood around the body.
Exactly. Your heart does the main pumping, of course. But the muscles in your legs act as secondary pumps when you walk.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so when you sit completely still for 3 hours, gravity pulls your blood downward. Your circulation slows down.
So less blood flows up to my head, which means less oxygen reaches my brain.
Yes. And when your brain realizes it is getting less oxygen, it tries to protect you. It does this by slowing your brain activity down. It literally enters a resting state.
Kind of like a computer. If I leave my laptop open and I don't touch the mouse for 10 minutes, the screen goes completely dark.
Right.
It goes into power-saving mode to save the battery.
That is the perfect way to visualize it. Sitting still for 3 hours puts your brain into power-saving mode.
Oh.
Your eyes might be open, you might be staring at your English textbook, but the lights inside your brain are essentially turned off.
That is just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So sitting there trying to force myself to study for 3 hours is actually worse than studying for 45 minutes and then going for a walk.
Much worse. You are literally fighting against your own biology.
Okay, so let's review where we are. We were tired from screens, we were exhausted from multitasking, we were dehydrated, and our brains are in power-saving mode from sitting too long.
It is not a great state to be in.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And in this terrible condition, what do we do next? We pour a massive ocean of information into our heads, which is the fifth trap. Information overload.
Yes, information overload. We live in an era where pure silence is almost extinct.
It really is.
From the moment we wake up, we are listening to podcasts, watching news videos, reading social media, and streaming music. We constantly force new information into our eyes and ears.
But, as an English learner, that feels very productive. If I listen to English podcasts all day long, even while I am doing other things, I am immersing myself in the language.
Immersion is great, definitely. But your brain needs something else to actually make that immersion stick.
What does it need?
It needs silence. Here is how memory works. When you learn a new English phrase, it goes into a temporary short-term holding area in your brain.
Okay.
Think of it like a small box sitting on your desk.
All right. I have a small box for my new vocabulary.
Exactly. To keep those words forever, your brain has to move them out of the small box and into the giant warehouse of your long-term memory.
That makes sense.
But here's the catch. It can only do this moving process when there is no new information coming in. It absolutely requires quiet time to sort and store the data.
Oh, I see. So if I study 10 new words, put them in my small box, and then immediately pick up my phone to watch a funny, loud video, what happens?
The loud video demands space in that small box. It literally pushes the new English words right out.
Wait, they just fall out?
Yes. You did not give your brain the time it needed to move the words into the long-term warehouse, so they are just gone.
That is deeply counterintuitive. We tend to think that consuming more educational content equals learning more.
Right.
But if we do not stop and sit in pure silence, the learning process just breaks down.
It is like eating a huge meal. Your stomach needs time to digest the food.
Okay.
If you just keep eating without stopping, you do not get stronger, you just get sick. Your brain needs time to digest knowledge. Without silence, you suffer from information overload, and the learning simply stops.
Okay, wow. This has been a massive series of aha moments for me. We now know exactly why we feel like zombies.
It all connects.
It does. We understand the biology behind the blue light, the attention residue from multitasking, the lack of electrical water power, the power-saving mode of sitting, and the overflowing memory box of information overload.
It paints a very clear picture, doesn't it?
It really does.
But the most exciting part is that none of this is permanent. These are just habits. And once you understand the mechanisms, you can reverse them with a few simple daily choices.
Yes. So let's pivot to the solutions. We want to give you, our listener, the specific tools to fix this. Let's walk through how to reverse the damage step by step.
It sounds good.
And as we do, we will naturally recap the essential English vocabulary we have used today, just to help you lock it into your long-term warehouse.
Let's start with a nighttime trap. To avoid waking up with brain fog, which is that awful feeling where your thoughts are slow and nothing is clear, we have to protect our melatonin.
Okay, how do we do that?
The fix is to stop looking at screens 30 minutes before bed. Replace it with reading a physical paper book in a gently lit room.
I love that. A physical book sends no false sunrise signals.
Exactly.
Okay, next, to protect yourself from mental fatigue, which is that deep exhaustion from making your brain sprint between tasks, you need to practice single tasking.
Yes, single tasking. This means having only one browser window open at a time. If you are studying English, put your phone in another room. Do not force your inner chef to run across the giant kitchen. Stay at one stove.
One stove, one meal. I really like that. All right, fix number 3, to make sure your brain's electrical signals are moving fast. And to keep yourself completely alert and focused, drink a large glass of water before you ever touch coffee.
Hydrate the system first. This simple act prevents that terrible sugar crash in the afternoon, keeping your energy smooth and sustainable all day.
Fix number 4, do not let your brain enter power-saving mode. Set a timer. Every 30 or 40 minutes, just stand up. Walk around your room for just 3 minutes, stretch your arms.
This gets the blood pumping against gravity, sending a fresh wave of oxygen right up to your brain.
And honestly, a short walk really helps me to clear my head.
That is a great idiom.
Yes, that is a fantastic phrase for you to practice. When you say, I need to clear my head, it means you need a moment to step away, let go of stressful thoughts, and reset your focus. Walking does exactly that.
And finally, fix number 5. To protect your memory from information overload, which is when you cram so much into your brain that it cannot digest anything, you must build silence into your day.
Right. Give your brain a chance to empty that short-term memory box. Spend 10 minutes a day with no music, no podcasts, no screens, just quiet reflection.
Doing these 5 things will completely transform your brain power, giving you the natural energy to think and learn effortlessly.
It really is about creating protective boundaries for your mind.
I highly encourage you to use these concepts in your own life. When you protect your brain's energy, you can stay consistent with your studies. And as you know, consistency is the true secret to mastering English.
Absolutely. So I have a direct question for you to think about today, our listener. Of all the traps we discussed, which one is secretly hurting you the most? Is it the blue light, the multitasking, dehydration, sitting too long, or the lack of silence?
A great way to practice your spoken English right now is to say this sentence out loud wherever you are. Ready? To keep my mind sharp, I plan to stop. And then you just add your specific habit.
Oh, that is great. For example, to keep my mind sharp, I plan to stop studying without a glass of water nearby. This is a highly practical sentence.
It is.
Well, we have explored a lot of fascinating science today, but there's one final thought I want to leave you with to ponder on your own.
Oh, what is that?
We talked about giving the brain 10 minutes of pure silence to digest information. But look at the modern world we live in.
Very noisy.
Yes. Every single minute is designed to be filled with noise, advertisements, and glowing notifications. It makes me wonder, is pure silence no longer just a break? Is silence actually the ultimate luxury that we must actively fight for?
Wow, that is a profound question to consider.
It is. Because once you fight for that silence and you clear away the noise, the brain fog completely lifts. You wipe the dirt off the windshield, the heavy cotton disappears from your mind, and suddenly you aren't a zombie anymore.
You can actually see clearly.
Exactly. You can finally see the road ahead. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep protecting your brain, and we will catch you next time.